Welcome back to the Rangers Report. Of course, as always, I'm joined by Andy Sinton as we reflect on the draw with Huddersfield Town, the victory over Blackburn Rovers, as well as talk through the new arrivals, as well as celebrating Asmir Begovic's 500th career appearance. This is the Rangers Report, brought to you in association with RFI. Since, welcome back. It's been a couple of weeks since we last spoke. How have you been?
Really good. It's been a couple of good weeks on the pitch with results, and so yeah, it's always makes for a better time off the pitch when you're getting the results on it. So yeah, good. What about you?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. We'll go straight into it. Huddersfield at home was the last time we spoke. Prior to that, in the end, it proved to be quite a valuable point, didn't it?
In the end, from where we were, it was a poor game. I've got to be honest, a poor game. I think a lot of tension around the place on the pitch from both teams, and I think that showed, what was at stake. Knowing if Huddersfield win where that would have took them, a win for us would have took us out the bottom three. A draw, nothing changed. So I felt the game was very edgy. Not a great game. Go a goal down with 5 minutes to go. We're on the floor a little bit, but credit to Marty and the boys. He's instilled that they go right to the end. And Kenneth's goal, probably the one real moment of quality with Ilias's cross. Kenneth in at the back post, comes off his thigh, comes off his knee, whatever it does, don't care. Went in, and I said on commentary, not at your best, but it's important to get something from a game when you're not at your best. And that goal, who knows? In a couple of months' time, we might look back on would have been probably one of the most crucial goals of the season. So yeah.
What was your sort of emotion at the full-time whistle? Mine was a bit of frustration, I suppose, and a bit of disappointment that we didn't. When you're playing a rival like that, you always want to get the victory, don't you?
Yeah, I think it was a bit of everything. Everyone knew the importance of the game. QPR fans there in the numbers again. Scarves given out, a great atmosphere created, but the game was flat. So we're disappointed with the point, we're disappointed with the performance, but with a few minutes to go, you're delighted with the point, if that makes sense. So emotions a little bit, pleased with the point in the end, disappointed with the way we played, but important to get that point to build on the Millwall game and take that into Blackburn, so yeah.
And before kick-off, it was a sign of things to come. We announced the arrival of striker Michael Frey, and that gave a boost to the crowd, didn't it, before kick-off straight away?
Well, any signing can give everyone a lift at the club, and Michael came in, and credit to everyone at the club behind the scenes for getting it over the line. Michael's experienced, he's played in various leagues in Europe, scored goals at various clubs, so he'll come and give us something that we haven't got, and we're delighted to have him, and we wish him well in his time at QPR.
And then a busy week would follow, a busy deadline day. I'm sat here at the training ground with everyone else until the late hours of the night. Isaac Hayden and Joe Hodge eventually arrived.
Well, again, two really good additions, and again, I'll say it again, credit to Christian and everyone behind the scenes for finding a way. It's been well documented how difficult a situation we're in with the finances, but they got it done. And I'll say it again, two players that'll go into the squad, they'll give quality, they'll give things that we haven't got within the group. They'll give a freshness, they'll give an energy. And so yeah, both at different ends of their careers, Isaac, vastly experienced, been around the block, quality performer. And young Joe, at the start of his career, really well thought of from where he is, and delighted that him wanted to come here and Wolves allowed him to come here. So yeah, two really good signings to back up Michael's.
And he was obviously on the bench for Wolves on deadline day against Manchester United, which shows how much Gary O'Neill and Wolves think about him.
Yeah, he's a highly rated young player at the start of his career, and don't underestimate his commitment to QPR, because he's on the bench against Manchester United. He drives down straight after the game, through the night. I think he arrives down here at 2ish in the morning. He just wanted to give himself the best possible opportunity to make sure he was involved with Blackburn, and got him in Friday, travels with the team, and gets involved, and I'm sure we're going to talk about his impact a little bit later.
3 of the lads were all involved in the squad, Michael, Isaac and Joe, and they straight away had an impact, didn't they, at Blackburn?
Well, as I said, I've been in dressing rooms where new players come in, and if they're the right type and the right character and come in with the right reasons, they give everyone a lift. It keeps everyone on their toes. Competition for places ramps up, which is never a bad thing. Straight away involved at Blackburn, give us various qualities that will add and make us better. Delighted to see all 3 of them involved. Obviously, the introduction after 50 odd minutes, could say inspired by Marty. Well done, very bold to make 3 at that stage of the game where we probably know we've got to go and win the game. So Isaac comes on, Joe comes on, Paul Smith came on and had an impact as well, and Michael came on a little bit later. So everyone out there, credit to them all, played their part.
Let's break down our first victory at Ewood Park in 25 years. First of all, the first half, it almost seemed to prove that it was going to be one of them afternoons where we had numerous chances but just couldn't find that cutting edge and that final finish.
Yeah, again, bit of tension around the game. That's where as players you have to be bold and be brave, and I thought we started a bit shaky the opening 5 or 6 minutes, contributed to giving the ball away. A couple of things went out of play, caused their own problems, but after that started to impose ourselves on the game, and I thought we really controlled the first half of the game. We got ourselves into some really promising positions where we looked a threat, and albeit with a little bit better decision making or a bit of composure or a little bit more quality, we could have quite easily been ahead at half time, but wasn't to be. But a decent first half, you go in at 0-0 and you're thinking, okay, right, massive half of football coming up for both teams, but I'm talking about us. We know what we had to do, and I think from the second half onwards we really took the game to them. Opening couple of minutes, there was a few things flashed across. Then the substitutions come on, and within a couple of minutes, we're 1-0 up. Good build up. Ilias keeps it alive, does great. Comes inside, shot, comes back off the post, hits the goalkeeper on the back.
If you're Ilias, you're claiming that goal, aren't you, by the way?
I had one of those in my career, and I was desperately trying to claim it. But credit to Ilias. Comes in on that right foot, hits his shot. Hits the goalkeeper on the back and goes in. Some people look at it and go, a bit fortunate. But you know what, isn't it about time we had a little bit of fortune in some of the games that we played recently? So then a couple of minutes later, you go 2-0 up with a really well-worked goal. Credit to Sinclair Armstrong, with his build-up plays, weighted pass, the forward run of Joe Hodge, which I quite like to see, a midfield player getting beyond and past the strikers. Uses the pace of the ball to set himself, doesn't touch the ball. Just opens his body and whips it into the far corner. And if ever you want to announce yourself to your new club, your new fans, your new teammates, that's the way to do it. So delighted for young Joe.
And you had a new partner on QPR Plus as well, and he got introduced to the Sinton Scream. And I was sat directly behind you, and I saw you jumping up and down when both the goals went in.
Yeah, I think I was standing up, punching the air, but that's just emotion. I'm watching the game as a fan. I just want us to do well. But no, delighted for everyone. We know where we are. We know what we have to do. 7 points from 3 games. Brilliant. We have to build on that. But delighted for everyone.
And that victory, and we also saw Huddersfield beating Sheffield Wednesday at home. That means now we've somewhat caught up or catching up with the pack. If you're a team above us, you might be looking over your shoulder just a little bit. If it was us, we certainly would.
Very much so. Everyone think to see the Huddersfield score and probably get a little bit disappointed, but we've got to forget them. We can't do anything about Huddersfield Town anymore. We've played them twice. Can't do anything about what they do. We just got to concentrate on our job, and by us winning and them winning, but the others losing just drags that. What is it? I think there's six teams within 5 points of us. And that can create a little bit of nervousness because one of those teams will hit a really bad run. Blackburn are on one at the minute, 2 points from 8 games, and that's put them from high up in the table down to where they are. Someone else will hit a bad run. Hopefully we've had ours. We just need to build on that, but we just got to concentrate on our job game by game. Sounds the old cliche, but it's it's the case. We can only control what we can control. So our next one's the most important one. Play Norwich, then we're on to 2 away games. But that was a terrific win, an important win. And yeah, delighted for everyone once again.
It was nice to see a familiar face at half-time at Ewood Park as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, good mate of mine, Simon Barker, was at the game, texted me on the way up to say he was going to be at the game. You know, he served Blackburn really well and certainly served QPR really well. Good teammate of mine, was my roommate. He's probably the one, excuse me, he's the one in that group I probably speak to the most. He's done ever so well for himself with his role at the PFA, and that was great to see him.
And Asmir Begović as well. Goalkeeper, made 500 career appearances
fantastic.
against Blackburn. What an achievement for him personally, and for us to be part of that as well.
Well, first of all, for Asmir, many congratulations. You know, to play 500 games is some achievement. Most of Asmir's have been at the top level as well. I think that's really important to say that. It shows the standard of goalkeeper he is over a long period of time, and for someone to keep going in that position, because goalkeepers, there's not normally the squad rotation, there's not normally the change of formation. You're normally in goal, and if you're playing well, you play week after week, and unless you get injured or a drastic loss of form. So that tells you how consistent he's been. You know, I see him work when I'm at the training ground. He's a model professional. He works incredibly hard every day. He's great with the younger goalkeepers. He's good around the building, conducts himself really, really well, and it's no surprise to me that he's had the career that he's had. And you know, I saw him briefly this morning, and I said congratulations, and he goes, "Not done yet." So maybe play a lot more games in that career. But no, he's a top guy, and a wonderful, wonderful career. So many congratulations to Asmir. And
there was a few really important saves as well in the game, which not kept us in it, but allowed us to kick on and get the result in the end.
Yeah, probably routine saves. Asmir was the first one to say that, but he makes them, and he makes them look easy, which is good. So, and I think throughout the season, there's been times where we've had to rely on him to make important saves at key times. So he's part of the group. He's a big part of the group with his experience and his know-how and his leadership qualities, which we're going to need in the remaining 16 games. So yeah, delighted for him.
We caught up with goalkeeper Asmir Begović as we reflected on his career as well as looking ahead to the games upcoming. We're joined by goalkeeper Asmir Begović. Asmir, congratulations on 500 career appearances. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels great. I mean, it's obviously a very proud moment, and you know, it's a lot of years of hard work, of course, and sacrifice for myself and my family, everyone involved through the early years and even in my professional career. But you know, it feels a bit strange. Obviously, there's not much time to think about it. My main focus on training. We've got obviously Norwich at home on Saturday and some massive games coming up. So it's all about the task in hand.
If we go right back to the beginning, talk us through the early stages. What made you want to be a goalkeeper? Who inspired you to get to where you are now?
For me, it was simple. My dad was a professional goalkeeper in the former Yugoslavia. My granddad used to play in goal. And as soon as I was born, the gloves were on. So it was really, really simple for me. Not ever forced on me. It was a natural thing for me to do. And from the age of 4 and 5, when I really first started playing in goal and became a goalkeeper, that's all I ever wanted to do. And I'm super lucky, super blessed through all the turmoil and difficulties in my early years that Plan A always worked out.
Your career started in England anyway with Portsmouth, and you had loan spells around the Football League. Talk us through the early stages at Portsmouth and what inspired you to come on to what you are now.
Yeah, Portsmouth was a great period for me. Obviously, I made my way through the ranks in Canada at the time as a teenager and started playing for the national teams there. And you know, things were obviously rumbling a little bit in the background about opportunities to go and play in Europe and in a professional environment. And you know, I was given the opportunity to come to Portsmouth in 2003 on trial, and things happened very quickly after that. They were obviously very happy with my work and offered me a contract, and my parents and my family were happy for me to go there. And you know, it was a fantastic club, a really family club. From the academy director to the academy coaches to the staff, my digs lady, my teammates. I couldn't have picked a much better place to really get started and kind of start my development as a young goalkeeper. And throughout the years, as you rightly say, you go on these loan spells. I first go to Belgium. And really a lot of these loan spells were about football, for sure. But I think it made me grow even more as a person, having to stand on my own 2 feet and look after myself. And, I think there was a lot of life lessons there really for me. So those loan spells helped me a lot. I think Yeovil really pushed me over the edge kind of as I started playing there, and I really had a good consistent spell of games, and that was important. And as well with Portsmouth, where it was such a great environment for me to learn and develop. I had one of the best goalkeeper coaches, really a goalkeeper coach who made me into the goalkeeper I am still today, and that was in David Coles. And he was a coach, a mentor, everything. So I couldn't have picked a much better place to really have those early years of my career.
And how was it as a youngster moving away from home, away from your parents? First of all, that must have shaped you into the person that you are now.
Yeah, listen, it was difficult. It was probably more difficult on my parents. I know my mom wasn't too happy about it, but I had to, make the difficult decision to drop out of school, out of high school in Canada, and continue my education and obviously my footballing journey here in England. So those are some tough decisions. But it's like I said, ever since I was born, it's all I ever wanted to do. And so for me, it wasn't that difficult. Of course, not having a family around, my brothers, my parents, is not the easiest thing. But really, like I said, it's all I ever wanted to do, and I was really grateful for the opportunity.
And a first call up to the Bosnian squad first arrived, and how was that moment for you to choose them as well because of your background? Was it a precious moment?
Yeah, it was a special one, but also a difficult moment. As we mentioned before, I grew up in Canada, spent some really important years there, was given the opportunities to play in the youth national teams there. But again, I was never capped. Born in Bosnia, Bosnian family. And in 2009, that opportunity came to represent Bosnia. And, I had to make a decision which country to go for. And at that time, Bosnia was the best opportunity for me and my family for my professional career. And it worked out pretty well.
And 63 caps would later follow with a call up to the World Cup as well in 2014, the first time in Bosnia's history at a major tournament. Must have been a really proud moment for you.
Yeah, my journey with Bosnia has been a crazy one. Lots of ups and downs. We had a special golden generation, I think, of players that might not be seen for a while in Bosnian football. So it was a special group. We all came from sort of different backgrounds, growing up everywhere where the war and the conflict put us all over the world, and we came together with the one goal of representing our country of birth and representing Bosnia, and we were able to qualify for that one major tournament. We came close a couple of times before that. We had some bad luck in some of these playoffs, so to actually get over the hump and qualify directly for that World Cup, it was a really special experience. And to have it in Brazil in those circumstances, it couldn't have been drawn out any better.
And alongside that, a move to Stoke in the Premier League cemented yourself as number one in the Premier League side.
Yeah, it did. I mean, it was a massive opportunity for me. I think when I look back in my career, a lot of these moves came about quite naturally. Leaving Portsmouth was maybe a little bit premature in the fact that I would have loved to continue to develop playing in the Premier League a little bit longer, and I loved living there, and the club was great, and the coaching was fantastic. But obviously, with the financial situation at the time for Portsmouth, they had to cash in on some assets, and the opportunity to go to Stoke. And again, it was a difficult decision to turn down a couple other clubs, but I felt like it was the right move. Again, Tony Pulis gave me the opportunity. I had a great goalkeeper coach in Andy Kwai. So it was 5.5 years of pure joy. It really, allowed, as you rightly said, allowed me to establish myself at the highest level and show people I could play in the Premier League and in the best league in the world.
And in 2012, Bosnian Player of the Year must have been again an achievement for you that you look back.
Yeah, of course. Those are really nice achievements. For people to recognize you in your country, it's a really nice thing. It's a massive honor, and especially when you're competing against some of those other players and people and what they've done in their careers. It's that was a very special moment.
And a goal as well for Stoke City. Every time Asmir Begovic is mentioned, it seems to come up in the same sentence, doesn't it?
Yeah. That was pretty cool at the time. I didn't really know what to do with myself, and it's not probably how I ever imagined it. But thankfully we didn't lose that game, and we got a draw. And it was a cool moment. But I guess the funniest part was that the goalkeeper and the receiving and Artur Borg, 5 years later we were in the same team. So there you go. It all worked out in the end, and we laughed about it, but it was a pretty cool moment.
And then a switch to Chelsea would later follow with a Premier League title also coming your way. Was that something that you always dreamt of, winning something as prestigious as that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're all competitors at the end of the day. I think we push each other, we push ourselves every single day to be the best and to compete with the best and play with the best. And it's no secret that at the same time, I guess at that time in my career, I wanted to go and test myself against some of the best players in the world. And not only that, I wanted to play with them and be part of that. Managers, everything at the highest level. And Chelsea really certainly was that at the time. And, they gave me that opportunity. And I was really grateful for that. And I had 2 fantastic years, built some great relationships. And, that team that won the title in 16-17 was a special group of guys, the staff, everyone involved. And, we almost did a double that year. That was a bit unlucky. But, we achieved something really, really special, and it's something that I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
And then spells with Bournemouth again, AC Milan, Qarabag and Everton. It's a mixed bag of teams, but again, a standout moment for you again in your life.
Absolutely. I mean, I had to make the decision. Do I stay at Chelsea, maybe not play as much? Do I go and somewhere where I can play a little bit more regularly? And I chose to go and play again. And playing the Premier League every week was a lot of fun. And played over 100 games at Bournemouth, which I'm really grateful for. And, it's a really, really cool club, a nice family club again, a lot of really, really great people in and around that club in the area. So I enjoy that. And then even going to Qarabag was an unbelievable experience to go to Baku and meet some new people, see a different culture, club. And then obviously that opened up the opportunity to go to Milan. And, that's, I think that club's history, tradition, everything those red and black stripes stand for was really, really special. And what a time to be at the club. And, it was nice to kind of rebuild AC Milan again. They'd gone through a tough few years and to change certain things. The culture and the place was amazing. And some top players there and people that I really enjoyed to be with. And, I enjoyed that experience, very much.
And if you look back on your whole career, is there one sort of game that sort of stands out in your mind? You're like, that was a good moment for me.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few games, obviously. I think in your club career, you always remember debuts and things like that for each and every club, certain games. But I guess that the main one was representing Bosnia at the World Cup in 2014. I think that first game, being our first major tournament, the group of players and people how we came together to play the first game in Rio de Janeiro at the Maracanã against Argentina, against Lionel Messi and his crew. The stadium, the pitch was perfect. I mean, it was incredible, just an absolute magical scene and experience. And my whole family was there, so it doesn't get much better than that.
And a move to QPR in the summer has been a mixed season so far, hasn't it? For you personally and for us as well, for everyone connected to the club.
Definitely, yeah. I think we're obviously in a tricky situation. We know that with 16 games to go. We've had some ups and downs, and I think it's been, a season that it's been challenging for everyone. But at the same time, I think with the squad that we have now, with the manager, we're looking at the 16 games as a big opportunity for a massive run-in, and get the club over the line, make sure we stay in the division, and have a really strong finish. So we're really confident we can do that, and we're going to take it game by game. But all things aside, it's a pleasure to be part of this club and really enjoying playing every game and hopefully contributing to a really strong run-in.
As you mentioned, why certain moves have come about in your career already. 31 appearances for QPR this season, 8 clean sheets. Must have been what you sort of looked for when you joined us in the summer. Yeah,
exactly. I think for me always, as you rightly say, you look for the right reasons. And I think for me it was really important I really wanted to play again, play regularly. I think to become such a historic club again with a rich tradition, to be able to do that in such a strong league was a massive pull, and it worked out well for my family. And I think being part of this group has been great. And, just try to do what I've done for many years, just be a solid presence, consistent presence, and, hopefully show the guys around behind the scenes the ropes a little bit and set a good example. And, hopefully I can do that for a little while longer.
And game number 500 arrived at Ewood Park last weekend. was nice to get a result as well, wasn't it? To get the victory, to top it off. What was a nice
of course. I think these milestones are great, but even better when you win. And a massive win. Obviously, I think QPR's first win there in 25 years or so, which makes it even better. A long trip for the fans, and we heard them loud and clear all game. So, we're going to need that effort, that commitment from everyone, that togetherness for the next 16 games. And if we have that, we'll put ourselves within a good shot of reaching a goal.
We have 60 massive games left, starting with Norwich on Saturday and then the trip to former side Stoke City on Wednesday.
Exactly. So looking forward to that, but as you rightly say, full focus on Norwich. Like we mentioned earlier, this is all great, but it's all about the day-to-day, and we've got a massive game. And the way we've been playing over the last month and really the last little while, we go into that game with full confidence, and with our fans behind us, I think we can do some good things. So looking forward to the challenge, and hopefully we can put in a good performance.
Asmir, thank you and congratulations.
Thank
Here's
you.
to many more.
Thank you.
And earlier this week as well, we saw announced the arrival of Lucas Anderson, another promising attacking player. It's an exciting time.
Another player that'll give us something that we probably haven't got and need. He can play in a couple of roles. You look at his career where he's played. He's a Danish international. So he comes in. He's worked under Marty before, so they know each other. Marty will know what he's going to get from Lucas. Lucas will straight away know what Marty wants from him and the team. So that's a really good fit. And again, credit to the club, because early in the window, everyone was thinking we couldn't do anything. So to get 4 through the door, quite late, but to get 4 through the door, and Lucas coming in to add to what we've got, I think it's been a good window. We wish all 4 the very, very best of luck, and hopefully they can all help us and play their part in helping us to get to where we need to get to.
And as always, you sit and Google Lucas Anderson and watch his videos on YouTube, and he looks quite a good player, does he?
Very technical, very skillful, creativity. He'll chip in with goals. Led to believe he's good on set plays as well. So, no, it's a good signing. And as I said, importantly, club have done their homework on him, see him fitting into our style, but also the key thing for me is work with Marty. Marty knows him, he knows Marty, and can't wait to see him play.
And also, seeing your nice jumper since, you've been very dashing in your Art of Football piece. Our new partnership with Art of Football, you may have seen it last week when we interviewed Jake. We were in this exact attire since. It looks really nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, delighted to have it on. The famous QPR badge. I'm always pleased to wear anything connected with QPR. So this is good.
And your one as well is based on the 70s. So obviously the team of 75, 76 sticks into your mind, doesn't it? It's great. Straight away you think of Stan Bowles, Jerry Francis. That's that team.
All that team. The names just roll off the tongue. What a team. Quite rightly so. QPR's finest ever team. Under a great manager in Dave Sexton. Went so close to winning the biggest prize in English football, just came up short, but what a team. Speak to many fans who reminisce about how good they were, and not just individually, but collectively, the type of football that they played. So if that reflects them, I'm very proud and privileged to wear it.
And my one as well, it has a few kits on there that are reminiscent of your glory days as well since.
Yeah, the Dennis the Menace kits, Brooks, KLM.
Scored a few good goals wearing that.
Sponsors, used to really enjoy those kits. Wore it with pride. Scored a few. Played in some big games where we won games in it. So part of our history.
And you can head to Art of Football, our new partners, and purchase one of these jumpers, modelled by myself and Andy Sinton, or much more as well. Looking ahead to Saturday since Norwich City in W12. We say it every week, but another massive game, isn't it?
Another massive game. They're going to be. I think we're going to be saying that every game from now at the end of the season, because where we are, how tight it is down there. Every game is huge. So Norwich, they've been to us once already this season. Beat us in the cup. We went there. They beat us narrowly. But those 2 games will have no reflection on Saturday's game whatsoever. You look at Norwich, talented group, talented squad, just outside the playoffs. They'll fancy the chances for obvious reasons, but if we can build on the 7 points, Millwall, Huddersfield and Blackburn, if we can build on that really good run, It's going to be another big crowd. Rangers fans are going to be coming. You look at Norwich, I think other than Rotherham, I think they've conceded the most goals away in the Championship. So there's something you can look at and try and exploit. But like any opposition in the Championship, you're going to have to be at your best. You're going to have to earn whatever you get. But I can't wait. The next game is your most important game, and that brings Norwich to town on Saturday. So all the QPR fans, you know, pack the stadium out, get really behind the boys, roar them on, because you're going to play a massive part in the remaining games this season.
And we saw everyone with the scarves that they got given against Huddersfield, and visually what an impressive sight it was.
Yeah.
It'd be important if everyone can try and do the same, bring their scarves again this week.
Yeah, brilliant. You know, it looks great. I'm up on the gantry and I see, you know, away to my right, almost like a wall or a sea of blue and white. You know, that's great, and well done the club for doing that. So, you all the Rangers fans, get your shirts on, get your scarves on, bring your voices, get behind the boys, roar us on, because we need that 3 points, and fans can play their part massively.
And there obviously won't be an episode next week with the midweek trip to Stoke City, but we'll have a brief look at that as well. Trip to Stoke, another massive game, isn't it? Valentine's Day, yeah. Stoke. Where else would you rather be since?
Well, we don't know what they're going to do at the weekend. I think they've got a big game of their own. But you know, Stoke's always a difficult place to go, but it's won that. Hopefully we'll be going there with another 3 points on the board, full of confidence. Again, every game on its merits. You know, you can't have any preconceived ideas. You've got to go, you've got to be fully ready, you've got to be focused, you've got to be determined, and you've got to go and get a result. And we can go to Stoke and we can do that, because they're one of the teams that we can actually claw back towards us.
Perfect. As always, Sins. Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Looking forward to Saturday.
Can't wait. Come on, you arse.
This has been the Rangers Report.